Curse of the Jersey Devil, a Jason Voorhees story, by Rashad M. Moore. Chapter 16. No fucking way, Quentin said, surprised. Art the Clown made a big creepy smile at Quentin and pulled something else out of his pocket. It looked like it was a pair of bloody lips. Fucking gross, Quentin said. Art gestured with one of his pointer fingers for Quentin to shush, as to be quiet and to stop talking. Next, the Terrifier started to slowly walk towards Quentin in a playful manner. Quentin braced himself and yelled at the clown. "Oh yeah, bring it! I fucking hate clowns! Fuck you!" Quentin pulled the trigger of his Beretta, but nothing came out. His gun had 15 bullets in the magazine. Did he have more bullets in another magazine? No, he didn't. Quentin quickly ran behind a tree to take cover. He thought to himself, "Shit, if I don't figure out something quick, I'm gonna end up being one of these freak circus acts. What a weirdo." Suddenly, the scenery changed. Quentin was now in a warm climate, as if it was summer. "Let's see how he does under these conditions," said the old man back at the director's headquarters office. The young lady spoke to him. "Sir, that wasn't the original plan, to change the setting on this Quentin guy mid-fight. He wasn't supposed to notice the change of the environment, sir," the old man replied. "Who gives a fuck? This mafioso bastard is supposed to be killed off anyways. He's not supposed to, or isn't expected to survive, and I sure as hell not gonna disappoint the junior partners by letting this guy get away, so relax. No one can leave Crystal Lake at the moment anyways. We have barriers up preventing people from getting out. Only the Crystal Lake police can enter into the place, and that's by design. But if they did come here right now, they sure as hell ain't leaving. I can promise you that, baby cakes," the old man said. The Terrifier Art the Clown, known for his infamous assaults in the state of New York, is now an artifact of the directors. Years before, he had went on a terror stalking, harassing, and killing his victims. But not before he tortured and played with them. That was his style. No matter the creed or gender, Art the Terrifier Clown showed no mercy for his victims. To him, it was amusing to watch his victims plead and beg for their lives. He viewed people as a joke, so he took their request as a joke. Before Art was the supernatural entity, he was a serial killer who had stopped speaking due to his overwhelming trauma. Growing up, Arthur had always admired clowns. They made him laugh, smile, and feel good. He even wanted to be a clown when he grew up. Clowns inspired him to want to make other people happy, to take them away from their pain. Then one day when Arthur was coming home from school, when he went inside of his house, he saw a clown standing in the kitchen, standing over the body of his gutted mother on the floor, and with the decapitated head of his father in the killer's hand. In that moment, Arthur's whole perception of clowns changed. Something inside of him shifted, and the only thing he wanted to do was to kill that clown that had killed his parents. He now hated clowns and wanted to make every clown that he laid eyes on to suffer. The clown killer had not seen the 11-year-old boy sneak up behind him. The only way that the clown detected the boy was after he felt a sharp pain penetration coming from his spinal cord. Arthur had literally stabbed him in the back. And about time the killer clown was able to turn around, there were multiple knives punctured into his body. The boy had stuck about 13 into his large body. The only word that came out of Arthur's mouth was "die." The adult killer clown's body dropped to the floor, slowly bleeding out and gasping for his last breath. The only thing that he could see was the hysterical, delirious look on the boy's face. Even as a killer clown, the man never saw such an evil, cynical look on a face. In that moment, fading off to the afterlife, the killer clown realized what he had done. He had created a killer much worse than himself. He had made a monster. When the police found Arthur in the house, they found him with the guts of the killer clown in his hands. When they approached the boy, they asked him, "Hey, little man, what happened here?" The boy could only look at them and start to giggle in an uncontrollable way. The police had been looking for a serial killer clown, and they had found him. Ted Gacy was his name. The infamous killer who sometimes would tickle his victims to death. This time, he chose straight sadistic violence. Ironically, he ended up being a victim of his own initiation. Later, Art was put in a youth mental asylum until he turned the legal adult age of 18. and then was released back into civilization when he was 25. Though he was now a mute, the doctors didn't perceive him as a threat. He was free to roam the earth, now, as the Terrifier. Running at full speed, Art the Clown swung a battle axe at Quentin's waist. That came out of nowhere. He grazed Quentin on one of his love handles. Quentin reacted. "Ah, jeez, you fucker! You're gonna pay for that!" Art replied with a mocking, laughing gesture as if he was play crying. Still standing somewhat close to the clown, Quentin grabbed a hold of Art's collar and headbutted him 3 times. Then Art backed up in a clown-like daze. He seemed hurt, but Quentin wasn't sure if the clown was injured or just fucking with him. Then, going to attack the clown again, Quentin saw that his legs, from the knee down, were encased in mud. Where did the mud come from, he thought. "We write the storyline," said the old man back at the director's headquarters. The 30-something-year-old woman spoke to the old man. "Sir, don't you think we've intervened enough? The more we manipulate the circumstance, the faster you accelerate the artifact's time use. And they only have 15 minutes each." The old man then said in excitement, "Who gives a fuck? The junior partners put me in charge. I'm gonna make this fun. This is entertaining. We're running a business and we have viewership, so take a back seat, young lady, and shut your yap." Quentin felt his arms get heavy and noticed that both hands were weighed down with cement blocks. He said out loud, "I'm the wise guy. I'm supposed to do that to you." Art then pulled an 18-inch black stick from behind and showed it to Quentin. Quentin asked Art, "What the fuck is that?" Art then pulled out some gel and poured 1 drop onto the head of the stick. Art the Terrifier started to communicate hand gestures to Quentin. He took his pointer finger with one hand and made a hole with the other, and put the finger through the hole. Then he pointed at Quentin's butt with a smile on his face. Quentin reacted. "You better fucking not! Get away from me, you freak weirdo!" Art pointed at him and started laughing at him mutably. Then he slowly and playfully started to walk behind Quentin, and then tipped him onto his knees. Quentin looked back in fear and saw the look of satisfaction on the Terrifier's face. Art then proceeded to insert the 20-inch dildo into Quentin's ass. "You're not sticking that fucking thing in me, you cocksucking freak weirdo!" Quentin shouted in a shameful tone. "No!" With all of his might, Quentin fought to break free. He started to feel himself get a little loose, but it wasn't enough to break free. Art was already in motion to violate him. Then all of a sudden the clown felt his body be pushed back by 2 paw-like hands. He fell to the ground. He heard a growl, and when he looked up he saw a canine. It was Ares the Husky. Ares had saved Quentin from getting violated, stopping Art in his tracks. Art stood up and made a very irate face at the dog. He quickly pulled out a hot dog bun and poured some mustard onto it and pointed at Ares, as if he was gesturing that he was going to eat him. Quentin was now free from the mud and walked up to Ares and greeted him. "Great to see you, buddy. You saved me from that freak. That bastard was trying to peg me. Anyways, where's my baby girl Harmony?" Ares barked back at him with charisma. Quentin spoke again to Ares. "Let's take this bastard out." They both faced the clown in standoffish postures. Art then ran at the both of them, and about the time he got halfway to them, he disappeared. Ares started barking excessively while looking around. Quentin was also suspicious. He figured that it was likely another one of the clown's tricks, but it wasn't. Quentin looked down at Ares and told him, "Come on, buddy, we have to find the others." Back at the director's headquarters. "Damn it," the old man said. "We ran out of time. I really wanted to see the Terrifier go to work. Guess we'll have to wait for the next hour for another artifact to be released. Who do we have up next, hotcakes?" the old man said to the young lady. The young lady replied, "Well, sir, we have us a heavyweight. It's known for its insatiable craving for human flesh. It's an ancient creature. I don't see how anyone can survive an encounter with it. It goes by the name of the Creeper. Chapter 17. Running with second star Dave Riker in his mouth, the black bear, also Mr. Voorhees, stopped in its tracks and placed Dave down to the ground. The second star spoke to the bear. "You were supposed to let me establish a stronger rapport with the group. I was supposed to gain their trust before you swooped me up. We're running out of time, so now we have to make this perfect, or at least close to it." The bear morphed back into Mr. Voorhees. Then Mr. Voorhees spoke. "Whatever Wolfram and Hart's plans are with this family is none of my concern. My focus is for my boy to get his long-awaited revenge that put him on this horrific path. Everything else is just entertainment for me, and besides, I know this area. I'm not an outsider like you. Once the directors have left, me, my Jason, and my Johnny will deploy ourselves into the other timelines, but we can't do that until Mr. and Mrs. Sully are dead. It's because of them why we are in this situation in the first place." Dave replied, "I understand, Jebediah, but I work for Black Star. We are an organization that was outsourced by Wolfram and Hart and funded by the directors. Believe it or not, Black Star exists to keep the masses of people safe. We have to keep them ignorant of the other realms in order to keep the world going. Now, I don't agree with everything that the directors do, but if killing a small group of people means I can save humanity, then that's just what I'll do. As a devoted Christian, my heart goes out to the people that have to be sacrificed, but the Lord works in mysterious ways, and I put my faith in God Almighty. Even Wolfram and Hart can't beat that." Mr. Voorhees burst out in laughter. "Your Lord and Savior is what's keeping humanity in a bind. My twin brother Elias used to believe in that same nonsense, and it never worked out for him. We live on earth, and your God is the Lord of heaven. Satan is the Lord of the earth, and my Lord and Savior. So the actuality is that we are in opposition of each other, but I don't mix business with religion. So for now, we're partners, but once Wolfram and Hart is done doing their work in Crystal Lake, you will be regarded as an enemy, and I may have to kill you if we are to cross paths again." Second Star replied, "Well, I'm not much of a fan of your practices and the way you do things either. I'm a shadow contractor who was sworn into secrecy to protect humanity against the Ancient Ones by the Black Star Covenant. The Covenant may want me to take you out at some point in time. After all, I am a Highlander. We're almost immortal. So if that's how you feel and think that's what you want to do, then pack a lunch, brother, because nothing comes easy with combating me." Jebediah responded in amusement. "Oh, Highlander, huh? I've once encountered a Highlander in my younger years before Jason was born. I'm aware that the only way to kill a Highlander is to chop off their head. Anything else will just, temporarily slow them down? But when that day comes, be ready, because time doesn't wait up for anyone, not even a semi-immortal." There was a brief pause in the conversation. "That's interesting that you're aware of that," said Second Star Riker. "If you want to fight to the death when this is over, I'm open to the idea and welcome sending you to the afterlife. But for now, we have a duty to the directors to eliminate the Sully family. And I know, besides Jason, you want that to happen the most. So let's finish this. I'll find the family and persuade them to trust me and fake protect them from you in bear form. Let's get to work and put some clothes on." "Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Got my gat on the side with nothing to hide. Over here in the woods, stuck here with some peckerwoods. Ezra. Will you shut the hell up, man? No one wants to hear that shit right now." Kelvin got offended. "What the fuck? Last time I checked, nobody here has a plan to get the fuck out of this shithole forest. I'm the only one here that's willing to fight that bear. If y'all want to sit around and wait for your uncle to save you, then by all means go and get yourselves killed. But me, I got shit I gotta do back home. I got money and bitches waiting on me in the hood. I got some Latinas willing to do something strange for a piece of change, if you know what I mean. So fuck off, you little beta chump." Carly spoke up. "I agree with Kelvin. What are we doing? We're just sitting around like we're in some badly written horror story." As if the writer doesn't know where to take the story next, we need to make a detailed plan to get the fuck out of Crystal Lake. Floyd put his 2 cents into the conversation. I actually saw a cabin a mile away from here when we were all evading that bear. We should take cover there. As of right now, that's our best shot at making it out of here alive, and unless anyone has a better plan, Fiona replied. Let's fucking do it. So tired of this place. Then Cassandra uttered a statement at Fiona. I'm all for taking cover. It makes sense, but what about Grandma and Grandpa and everyone else? We can't just leave them. Fiona. The hell we can. We get out of here. We can always come back with the police. Who knows? I hate to say it, but they can all be dead by now. That bear was ferocious. We need to get help first. That makes the most sense. Cassandra agreed. Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's leave now. Floyd, what direction? Floyd pointed with enthusiasm. This way. Ezra spoke to everyone. Let's go, everyone. We're leaving now. We don't have time to banter and argue. Ezra continued. Floyd, lead the way. Kelvin, check the rifle to see how much ammo we have. Cassandra, Carly, Fiona, stay behind us. Fiona interrupted. Excuse me, Floyd, but I'm older than you. You should be following my lead. Ezra. Come on, Fiona. Not the time or place for a debate. I know you're an independent woman, but I'm only looking out for your safety. I mean that, sis. I love you. Now let's go. Fiona said nothing and slightly nodded her head in agreement, then started to walk in the direction of finding the cabin. Kelvin walked up to Cassandra and started talking to her. So what brings such a fine-ass, melanated sister up here to Crystal Lake? Floyd said. Cassandra. I originally didn't want to come to the reunion this year. I actually had plans on going to the studio to make music. Music? I'm a musician too. You know, I rap, Cassandra replied with a little chuckle. Yeah, I heard. You can use some work. Kelvin then said with some humbleness in his voice. You're right. I can use some work. We should do a song together. It'll help me get better with my rhythms. And I would love to have a little chocolate honey on my side when I make it famous. Our babies would be so beautiful. Cassandra responded in amusement. Not so fast, Vanilla Wafer. We still need to make it out of here alive. Then we can take it from there. You feel me? Kelvin replied. I feel you. I won't let anything happen to you. I think if we can make it out of here in one piece, we could do big things. We can collaborate. You and me with our music careers. We can get our swirl on, baby. Cassandra. We'll see. Everyone was still walking in the direction of the cabin. At least they thought that they were. Carly complained. We've been walking for almost an hour and we haven't ran into any cabin. Floyd. So what do you call this then? They found the cabin. No, it was actually a 2-story house. Most of the blue and white paint on the house was faded and peeled off, but the house was still in good condition. Ezra spoke up. Let's check it out. They all walked up to the cabin. Floyd grabbed the doorknob and tried to open it. It was locked. Kelvin stood in the middle of the group with the rifle in ready-to-shoot mode. He spoke with the gun cocked in both hands. I got about 23 bullets in this motherfucker. Anything I find to be threatening is gonna get it. Fiona spoke up. Can someone open the door? We're still sitting ducks out here. Carly intervened. Let me try. I picked up a little skill when I went 1 month in juvie. She unlocked the door with a little trinket she had from her pocket. Then the door popped open. Inside the house of the first floor was a couch, an old television, a film projector that had a red stain on it, and some old empty beer cans. Look, a radio, Floyd said with enthusiasm. He clicked on the play button, but no sound came out. He checked the back of it and saw that there were no batteries in it, so he opened one of the drawers and saw the AA batteries that he needed. He put the batteries inside the radio and pushed play. A song was now playing. It was Lion, Love is a Lie. Everyone else turned around with intrigue. Ezra suggested to Floyd. You should turn that down. We don't want to draw unwanted attention towards us, Floyd said. Loosen up. We're already in a crappy situation. Don't be a downer, Ezra. Carly started dancing with Floyd. Floyd thought to himself, hell yeah, I'm digging this. About 50 feet away outside of the cabin, he waited. The White Pine Slaughterer, Johnny, had found the group he was looking for. With his tomahawk blade in his right hand and bladed chain in his left hand, the firefighting mask-wearing killer waited in the mist. He spoke. for Daddy. Okay, Slashaholics, this has been chapters 16 and 17 of Curse of the Jersey Devil, a Jason Voorhees story by Rashad M. Moore. A lot of stuff to unpack here. I can't wait to hear from all of you in the comments section. A lot of different franchises were covered in these two chapters. Quentin almost got turned into a shish kebab, so that was something. Looks like we not only have Johnny and Jason, we have a Highlander in our midst as well. So it's going to be curious to see what they decide to put these survivors through next, which artifact they're going to use, and what that's going to lead to. But thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to let Rashad know what you think of his story so far in the comments below, and I'll be back very soon with more. Until then, this has been your friendly neighborhood 80s slasher librarian saying thanks for listening, be excellent to each other, and try to stay sane inside and sane.